This is Behind the Scenes with Bonnie and Clyde. I'm Denise, better known as Bonnie. Let's get it.
Welcome back to Behind the Scenes with Bonnie and Clyde. First episode was great. We want to get back into talking about, all the topics that we always get into and stuff like that. We want to thank everybody for responding. We had some great responses to our first episode.
Yes.
Real good responses and people looking forward to seeing us. So this week, we want to start off by, talking a little bit about the state of the economy right now, what's going on in America. It just seems like things is just really going bad for a lot of people right now. And the state of the economy is just not looking good. It seems like, it just feels to me like we're in a recession and nobody just wants to admit it.
I want to know when they're going to say that we're in a recession.
Right.
I'm just waiting for them to say it.
You're just waiting for them to say it because this actually feels like 2008, 2009, when we was in a tough recession back then. And then I just hate watching before I touch on that, I just hate watching the news and seeing all these mass shootings that's going on. Just in 2022 alone, we have 246 mass shootings up to this date right now.
Yeah.
It's just crazy what's going on in America right now. I think needs to be a lot of laws changed, a lot of things that need to be really changed what's going on. But touching back, like I was saying, on the state of the economy, I go in the supermarket, the shelves are empty.
Yes.
You do the shopping.
But even before when we were in a recession, even when I went to the supermarket, I didn't see the shelves empty. We still had stuff on the shelves.
Right.
So I'm like, I don't know what this is. That's why they didn't mention that it's a recession.
Right.
Because I don't know what it is. And I don't think none of us know what it is. Something else going on, I think. I don't know. Any of you out there agree with me?
Right.
But recession, they probably would have announced it already. But in 2008, when it was a recession, and I can still go to the supermarket. I was still able to shop.
Right.
I wasn't able to do other things because of financial difficulties. But the shelves weren't that empty.
And fuel was at $6 a gallon.
Then you hit the baby formula. Like, this is crazy.
Right. This is crazy.
Now they're messing with our babies. It's ridiculous.
Right. It's like we're just coming out of a pandemic in 2020, and 2 years later now, it's like we're still suffering. I don't understand what's going on, but
new president in the whole now.
Something needs to change
suffering.
Because the reason why it affects us that much, me and my wife, because touching back to 2008, 2009. We lived in Atlanta. We opened a very large Caribbean restaurant.
Yeah, in a recession.
Called Aaliyah's Island Grill. You can Google it, look it up. It was one of the biggest restaurants in Atlanta.
Yes, Caribbean restaurant. Yes,
we was featured on the news, everything. Nobody ever opened this magnitude of a restaurant in Atlanta in 2008, 2009. And the recession really tore us down. People stopped eating out. People stopped spending money.
Yes.
It really affected us. I mean, we had stars coming through like Akon, Young Jeezy, Jerry Stackhouse.
It was the place to be. It was the place to be.
We had the number one spot, the place to be in Atlanta.
Yes.
And then, a year and a half later, 2 years later, we had to close our doors. And it wasn't only us. Within a 3-mile radius of the restaurant, everybody was closing their doors.
Yeah.
So, we are entrepreneurs, we're business owners, and it's kind of scary when it gets to this, when it gets to this type of thing, because we've been through it before. We invested, a whole lot of money, and we end up losing. So it's kind of scaring us right now, but, we feel we got to push forward. Somehow, some way.
We do have to push forward because we can't sit and being a stumper and and start thinking about recession and stuff like that, because it is what it is. So you just got to move on and keep pushing and continue to do what you've been doing.
Right.
So because if you really worry about that kind of stuff, you'll be jumping off the roof. Like, literally. and I'm emotional already as it is. So if I start thinking on that stuff heavily and have like every day in and day out, I'm thinking we're in a recession. Oh my God, what I'm gonna do with money? Literally, you might have to be talking me off the roof. So with that being said, I'm not going to focus on that too much.
Okay, so if any of our guests got any suggestions or any ideas y'all want to throw at us, please chime in. Let us know what y'all think, what is going on in the economy. What are your ideas? What do y'all think about the president? You know, we don't want to pull too much on that, but if you have any ideas, just let us know.
We don't want to go there.
And like you said, we don't want to dwell on that too much because that's a tough subject for us because we lost a lot in 2008, 2009.
Yeah, because when our restaurant closed, like I said, I'm emotional already. I literally wanted to jump off the roof. Like, we spent a lot of money. And my husband wanted to go into another restaurant again. And I'm looking at him like, no, that's not what we're going to do. Because owning a restaurant, literally, it's ripping a check to pay the vendors every day. And it's crazy. It's a rough business to be in. We did it. We almost succeed until the recession came in.
We were very popular, very, very popular.
Yes. We had Jerry Stackhouse, eating at the restaurant.
Right. We had a lot of popular figures of Atlanta.
Yeah.
A lot of people came through and they loved us. They loved the food. But like you said, moving on from that, you know, like now you're into the body contouring business and I'm running the whole trucking business, and it's really talking about business now is affecting our businesses still. We don't talk too much about your business when you come home, but I still think it's affecting your business as far as clients and them spending money, what's going on. So
okay.
You want to?
So let me correct you there.
Okay.
I'm just not a body contourist. I am a licensed esthetician.
Okay.
So yes, body contouring falls under that, and I do facials, waxing and things of that nature. I am not slow. I know I had a colleague that does the same thing I do, and she paid me a visit the other day, and she was just telling me how things are slow in the beauty industry. Thank God for me that I'm doing really well. I'm not lacking in that area.
Because I think that's because you're good. I don't think everybody in Orlando can say that.
Thanks, honey. Yes.
Your reviews are crazy on Google.
Yes. I don't want to toot my own horn, but like toot toot. But yeah, I am that good.
Go to dreamevery.com, by the way. Book your appointment.
Yeah. So, but thank my lucky stars that I am not in one of that category. Hopefully, I won't be one of those ones that's slow.
Well, I can say, as far as the trucking business, I mean, we're never slow. They call it a recession-proof business because we somehow have to carry America. We supply the shelves.
Is it really, though? Is it really a recession-proof
Right now,
business?
I'm questioning it. I mean, I've been in it over 20 years.
Right.
But with fuel hitting $6 a gallon, you got to pay drivers. I mean, things are really tight right now.
Right, money's not flowing like it normally
it used to flow.
So.
And, it kind of scares me as a business owner right now. But we have times like this in the trucking industry. I've seen it before, but I've never seen it this bad.
Wow.
Where rates are dropping every day and fuel is going up.
So what do you think, because I've worked with you before I got my own business. I've worked with you in the trucking industry. But I worked in the office part. So I did the paperwork, payroll. Work. Yeah. But you're dealing with the drivers and their stuff, their personality and what they got going on or whatever, and the brokers.
Right.
So what do you think that's, why the brokers are not paying
the driver? That's why. They're damn crooks. They stealing our money. They sit behind the desk. They set these rates, and we're responsible for everything. Breakdowns, fuel.
I think y'all need a union. That's what I think.
Right. We definitely need a union.
I think the trucking industry, maybe you could form one. What do you think about that?
I've thought about it.
Mr. Businessman.
I've thought about it, but it's so much politics. There's so many politics in this trucking industry that you can't just understand it. I just can't understand why.
Would you recommend, let's say I am I'm a future entrepreneur. And I said, hey, I want to go into the trucking industry because I hear so many great things about it, right? And would you give me, like, what advice would you give me for going into it? I'm new. I want to go purchase this big, expensive truck.
Right.
Then, and the truck don't move unless it has a trailer.
True.
And then the truck don't go anywhere unless I have a driver and all the other paperwork that comes with it. Would you advise me to go into this business right now?
Well, I would never tell anybody that's trying to be an entrepreneur not to do it. You have to stay focused, and you got to take the good with the bad, as they say. And in any business is not always going to be good. So you got to, if you're going to get into it, you got to be dedicated to it. Like I always tell people, don't chase money, chase the dream.
Okay, so you're telling me this have to be a dream of mine if I'm gonna go into the trucking industry?
It don't have to be a dream. It could be a passion. It could also be a passion. Some people strive. I've seen people leave corporate world and driving trucks because you go to a 4-year college, you spend $200,000 getting these degrees, and now you owe all this money. You got to repay it back when you get out of there. Okay, trucking industry at a minimum. You go to a driving school for 4 to 6 weeks.
Okay.
You go to a company, you start out making $50,000 a year, $60,000. You don't have to pay no student loans back, no nothing. You don't need a college degree.
Okay.
So some people might say, okay, is a better way for me to go than having a piece of paper on the wall that you owe $200,000 on.
Also, I think it's a great idea for people who's coming out of the prison system. Where they don't have, that leisure time to go to a job and for them to say you're hired. Because a lot of people we know, that they don't hire convicts or felons, you know.
And the trucking industry will take a chance. I mean, there are some places now, like if you go to the port or something, they won't let with a criminal background in. If you go to a port, you have to get a special pass called a TWIC card or something like that. Or somebody have to go pull the freight for you and bring it outside for you, things like that. But it's a great opportunity.
But is being a truck driver as a felon, is it messing up the trucking industry
Not
in
at
some
all.
sense? Because,
Not at all.
Okay, because because I'm your wife and I've been on this journey with you. These guys, some of these truckers are on drugs.
A lot of them are on drugs, but I tell you what.
Some of these truck drivers, we had to literally go steal our truck back from these
them.
people.
Right.
Like literally on the highway driving, saying that's our truck and we're chasing it.
But I tell you what, most of these guys that come out of the prison system are more loyal than the regular average truck drivers because they've been in the system. They're trying to change their life.
Who are the ones
the bad ones,
that are on drugs? That's not
the experienced ones that have been in the business for years.
So it's the experienced ones that are on drugs?
And those are the more experienced ones that's having the accidents.
That is correct.
It's a crazy situation. And that's why the industry doesn't respect a lot of truck drivers like they should and give us the money that we deserve.
Right.
Because we do run America.
Yeah.
We are ones that pull up at Walmart to the Publix and back in the doors and stock the shelves.
None of these things that we have here.
Nothing you see here comes without a truck.
Comes without a truck. Exactly.
But we're like you said, forming back to that, they have to create a union, and we have to put some stability and format this trucking business.
I think you'll be great in that.
More.
I think you should go for that.
I'm gonna look into it. I'm gonna look into
that. I've always told you that.
You know, it's hard being a boss. You know, because
it is.
Being a boss, you gotta control. You gotta make quick decisions. You gotta be quick on your feet. You gotta hire. You gotta fire bad people, like you mentioned before. You know, you're responsible for feeding families.
You are.
You know, how many checks we cut a week? 15, 16 checks per week?
Yep.
You know, so sometimes 99% of the times I pay people before I pay myself.
And you know what? Not to cut you on that, I wanted to, okay, so when you're being mentor and being an entrepreneur and being a boss, right? I always hear people say, pay yourself first.
Right.
And I've been in this industry
I
for
don't agree
so
with that.
long. You and I have had so many
Right.
businesses. We've had hair
Right.
salons, we had magazines, we've had restaurants, we've had dollar stores.
Right.
We're literally serial entrepreneurs, right? But every time we go to someone, they say, "Well, you know, the first thing you need to do is pay yourself." That's a damn lie.
Never agree with that.
Because that's the last person that
That's
gets
the last
paid.
person that gets paid.
That gets paid are the owners.
Are the owners.
The owners are the last to get paid because we're so busy making
Right.
sure that all our employees are okay and
Right.
they're getting their
And the
checks.
overhead of the business has to be taken care of.
Yeah, I think they
Because how you gonna pay yourself when you got a mortgage of $3,000-$4,000 a month? You're gonna be like, I'm gonna pay myself first. So they're gonna close the building down. Then where you gonna run your business?
Where are you gonna run your business
if
out
you
of?
pay yourself first?
It don't make no sense.
I don't agree with that.
Me neither.
You know, there are tax laws that I've heard of, which they say, you know, you can put some money to the side, you know, before you do payroll, which that's what some people probably mean by pay yourself first.
Okay.
So, you know, that's some things that we got to look into and see
Okay.
about that.
Okay.
But
But when they just tell you to write the check to yourself before you write it to your employee, I'm looking at them like they're crazy. Like, what? You gonna tell this lady that I'm not gonna pay her because I don't got my check and
Right.
where's hers? I don't know
Right.
about that.
and like you said before, you know, people that's trying to, a boss is not meant for everybody. Some people are just 9 to 5, and that's cool.
Yes.
You know, I don't take that from anybody because everybody's not meant to lead.
Right.
But there's some people that keep making excuses, and then they give up early. They want to quit. You know, this is what I say: quit being lazy. That's one thing. Quit making excuses. You know,
I agree.
quit waiting for the right time.
Yes, I agree.
There is no right time.
There is no right time.
There is no right time. You have to do it now.
Absolutely.
You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So
I agree with you. Okay, so I have a couple of girls that I've
Okay.
mentored. I have mentored throughout my my career and my business success, right? A lot of women see me and they're like, oh, Denise, how do you do this? You're so strong. You know, I'm thinking about quitting my job. What do you think? You know, the first thing I'm telling them, do it. That's my thing. I know when they're in their job, it's kind of hard for them to think to quit their job like right there.
Right.
But and here come me that's already been an entrepreneur for
Right.
so while. And everybody looking at me like, oh, she have it easy. No, I don't.
right.
I'm just telling you, if you want to do something and you want to accomplish something in life,
Yep.
and if that's what you want to do
Yep.
professionally, and that's your passion, you can see yourself doing it. And that's my thing. If you see yourself doing it for free, that's your passion.
That's your passion. Because like I
Because
say,
with the-
don't feel, not to cut you off, but don't feel sorry for anybody. When it's your turn, you go like a savage.
Yeah,
You go all out.
yeah.
Because how do you feel? I don't understand. You wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning, brush your teeth, go to the bathroom, do number 2, take a piss, get stuck in traffic to go work and make somebody else rich. How you feel about that?
Listen.
And then they tell you need to be grateful for that. How do you feel about that?
But listen,
Can't you do that for yourself?
But listen, it's okay because, like you said before, everyone's not trained to be a boss, right? Everybody's
Right.
not cut out to be a boss. It's a mental thing now, and I know that because, like I was saying before, me trying to mentor some of these young ladies, when I tell them I want to quit my job, I said go ahead and do it. There's a drawback. Like what? Quit my job?
Right.
Yeah, like they
They
you know,
don't
they don't
understand
understand. So 'cause
Right.
that's because their mind haven't quite wrapped
Right.
around what they really want to
Of being
do
in
and how,
charge.
of being in charge and what it takes to be in charge. So don't come ask me, and I'm gonna tell all the ladies, don't come ask me what you think I should do about this business, because I'm gonna tell you, go for it.
Right.
I'm gonna tell you all day long, go for it. Why? Because I'm a go-getter. Why? Because my husband, I've lived with him for practically all my life, has taught me whatever you want, go for it.
Go for it.
Go for it. I've gotten all my training from him. Go for it. And all the ladies that come to me, what do you do? go for it. I have a particular lady that she wanted to start a braiding business, and she was working, and she went to her family, and her family told her no, don't do it. And then she mentioned me, said, "Oh, Denise said I can do it," and they were like, "What the heck?" Oh hell no, you
Right.
know better than that.
Right.
And I'm turned to her like, well, you're gonna listen to them or you're gonna listen to your passion.
Because like I always tell people too, like I don't claim to have the sharpest tool in the toolbox at all. You understand? But what I always do is, like, say you have 5 people. There's 5 of us in the room. You got the cameraman, you got us. Okay. We're all chasing a dream. We're all chasing success. We're chasing money. How do I get above you? How do I outdo you? My passion is I got to outwork you. I might not be smarter than the next man in the room, but if he gets up at 7, I'm going to get up at 5.
Okay. Yes.
That's how I'm going to beat him.
Yes. And y'all both doing the same thing.
We're both doing the same exact thing. He's chasing 100,000. I'm chasing 1,000,000. I'm gonna outwork you every time. I'm sorry, the phone always ringing because I'm busy. But I'm just so passionate about it because, like you said, you might be smarter than me, but you can't outwork me. I'm gonna run past you because if they give us the same tools. You do this and you do it, and we'll see who finishes first. I'm going to try to finish first. I'm going to get to the finish line first. That's how I'm going to outwork you.
Because you got the sauce. What's the sauce?
I got the blueprint.
I'm going to steal it. You got the sauce.
I'm going to steal the blueprint.
What's your sauce? You want to steal the blueprint from who? From the man.
From the man.
The man that's telling you what to do, right?
Me what to do.
All right.
You're going to give me that blueprint,
That's right.
and I'm going to steal that
That's
blueprint,
right.
and I'm going to outwork you. I'm going to work harder. Let's go into relationships.
All right. What you want to talk about? What about relationships?
What about relationships?
What about them?
Huh?
Let's talk about ours. Let's talk about ours, and you could dap. You could dap out.
Why ours are so good? Because like when I get mad at you.
Oh, you get mad at me?
Yeah, I get mad at you.
Okay. This is the first I know.
It's best to explain the anger, not to express the anger.
Are you putting shots? Are you throwing shots?
I'm not throwing shots. But I'm just saying, if you explain the anger, you seem to come out better. If you express the anger, it becomes a war.
And which one am I?
You're expressing. You're the one that's going to express it.
One.
Yes, for sure. You're going to express the anger.
Yes, ladies, because we work off emotions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So.
And then I'll try to open the door to solutions.
Right.
But
you do that.
While you throwing the knife.
While I'm throwing the knife.
While you throwing the knife.
While I'm throwing the knife, right.
Exactly.
So what, babe? You catching the knife?
That's why I always pay attention to actions and not words. Because if I pay attention to the words, we'll be in Ukraine fighting.
Oh my God.
We don't want to do
You're a mess. Listen. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's how you deal with me, huh?
That's how I deal with you.
Am I hard to deal with?
I've been dealing with you for 28 years.
Wow. I've been dealing with you.
No. You're the love of my life.
I've been dealing with you.
Yeah. All I can do is drink some Bel Air or something and watch some Netflix and chill, and we'd be all right. So.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So that's
well,
you're
you're a great husband. You make
Thank
it
you.
easy to be a good wife. You make it very easy to be a good wife. By the way, guys, we just celebrated our 20th anniversary. We renewed our vows.
Wedding anniversary.
Wedding
right. We renewed our
anniversary.
20th vows. Right.
Yes, and we had a couple of friends come in from California and stuff like that.
So
We had a
take
great
lessons.
time.
We're talking from experience.
Yes.
Take
And
lessons.
ladies, the secret to being a long-term marriage is to be your husband's friend first.
Exactly.
Is to be a friend. We can sit here all day and
laugh and talk about different things.
Yes. And being friends meaning liking the person, meaning
right.
you like him. You actually like the person he is. So I like you.
And talking about friends, we're not talking about us now. Let's touch on that subject about friends.
Friends,
'Cause
okay.
you really touched something there about friends. You know, we had a lot of friends.
Yes.
We had a lot, and now we tend to keep to ourselves a lot.
Yes, we do.
Because friends have hurt us
Yes.
a lot. Who you think is your real friend turns out not to be your real friend.
Sadly enough.
Sadly enough, you know, people you've known 20 years,
Yes.
15 years, and then, you know, it's a touchy subject because when you get stabbed in the back, it's not the hurt that affects you. It's when you turn around and see who's holding the knife. You know, that
Yes.
right there is deep.
You're right.
When you turn around and you see who's holding the knife, you know, it's crazy. And this is 15, 20 years of friendship. And you like, really?
Right. Right.
Really? Is this
Right.
what we come to?
Right. So, okay, let me ask you another question. So, this is about friendship, right? Okay. So you said we've had a lot of friends,
Right.
And they've turned their back on us in different ways.
Right.
What do you think about a friend that you've given the bag to?
And we've given the bag to a lot of people.
We've given the bag to all of them.
Oh
Okay?
my God.
But what do
We've
you think?
taught so many people.
Listen, what do you think about the friends that you have given the bag to, like literally handed it to them,
Oh
right?
my God. Whew.
Okay, no matter what they're in, whatever business they're in, because
Right.
you know we dabble in a lot of business.
Right, we dabble in a lot of
Okay,
business.
whether it be real estate, beauty,
Right.
All of that.
Okay, we dabble in a
Trucking,
lot.
exactly.
Right.
So when we have friends that come to us and say, "Well, how can we get into what you're into?" We give them the blueprint. Right. We walk them through it.
Right.
We hand them the money bag.
Yep.
And when you go back to that friend and ask the friend, not even for a favor.
Not even for a favor.
Because
we don't
what I
ask
always
for
say,
things.
what's understood should not be what? Explained.
Explained, true.
So when I go to the friend for a service or for that person to do whatever I gave you the bag for.
Right.
And now I'm in need.
Right. Now I'm in need.
Tell me something. Is that friend obligated to help me out or to render service to me at a low rate or no rate?
I wouldn't say, I don't say nobody's obligated. You know
Okay.
why? Nobody's obligated to do anything.
Right.
Because when we do things for people, we do it from the heart.
Yes, from my heart.
And we don't look for nothing in return.
Exactly.
Some people look, I think the question that you're asking, yes, is a yes or no answer, because if I was in the other person's shoes, yes, I would give that person a lower rate. Because that's me and that's you. It's a difference. But everybody's different now.
But also it goes back to what's understood should not be explained.
Right.
Do not put me in a position where I have to tell you. Are you gonna hit me with the low?
Right.
Are you gonna
Because
charge
I looked out
me?
for you.
Because it's not that I look out for you.
Right.
I gave you the bag.
I gave you the blueprint. I gave plenty of people the blueprint.
Period. So I don't have to explain when I come to you for service or anything I put you on to or
Right.
gave you the bag for. If we're doing real estate deal,
Right.
if I put you in, we sold houses and you walked away from the table with a certain amount of money. Now I'm back and we switching up houses or whatever. Do this and do that, blah blah blah.
Right.
What are we doing?
What are we? But
What are we
like
doing?
I said, everybody's not like us, and that's why I feel we stay blessed. And a lot of people, we'll give them the blueprint, they'll make it, and later on they have nothing.
Because
And there's a reason why.
Because also, you know why? Because you can give them the recipe, but they cannot. It won't taste the same.
It won't taste the same.
It won't taste the same.
You'll never use the same season as the master.
It won't
Remember
taste the
that.
same. So I'm gonna give you the recipe, but it won't taste. I
won't
give you
taste
the
the same.
bag, and you
Right.
think, oh shit, she gave. I'm good, and you run off doing your thing. You're doing your thing now.
Right.
Right.
'Cause
You
remember,
think you're getting ahead.
remember when we was hard into real estate, we brought up people underneath us. They made millions of dollars, right? You remember this story. And, times got hard for us. The persons that we taught, we asked for a little loan. They turned our back on us. Like I said, they said, no, we
Yeah.
don't have it. We don't want to help you.
But
and
this
these
is
are
the
people.
same.
These are the same people we gave the blueprint to make that money.
So what are we saying? So should they know when a person puts you on and give you the bag,
Right.
and they come back to you, should they know, hey, that's VIP, like that's
Of course they should know.
that's the person, like, oh my
Of course
God.
they should know. But everybody's not like us.
Tell them about the story when you went to Africa and you saw that big picture in the person's house. Tell them the story about that. Let them know, because that comes back to that. The fact that this man, he did this for this man, and this man
is a shrine. He actually had a shrine in his living room. I went out to Africa, stayed in this guy's house, and I just see a picture of it's an all black guy's house, stuff like that, all black family.
But was he something like a prince or something there?
Yeah, he was a prince, but still South Africa and parts of Africa is still run in a different way. People control it. They still have a different government, even though you might be a prince. So I see like a whole shrine, and it's a white man. There's a big picture, big 12 by 18 picture of a white man. And I'm asking, I'm saying, who is this in your living room?
Right.
I mean, it just don't.
Because it's
an
an all-black family.
It's all black family.
With a big-ass portrait with a white man in the okay.
And he said, you know what? He said, Anthony, he said, everything that I have in my life is because of this man on this wall. And I said, how do you do that? He said, he took me, even though I came from a family of royalty, there is government standards and everything of what you can and what you can't do.
Okay.
So he took a chance on me and put me in a position.
Okay.
And I leave everything to this man, because what my family have today is because of him, and that's why I represent him the way I represent him. But like I said, getting back to what you're saying now, people were not going to do that for us. You know what? We did a lot for so many people. Like I said, you turn around and you see who's holding that knife. Like getting back to that, they like, oh, he ain't never do nothing for me.
Okay.
They'll tell a person in a minute, he ain't never did nothing for me, or I was about to do this anyway. You know what I'm saying?
You just pushed it along.
Yeah.
All you did was push it along.
I just pushed it along,
Right.
He don't mean nothing. I've been had that plan. The plan he was going to give me,
Right.
I've been had that plan.
Right.
That ain't nothing.
Okay.
Just like you teach somebody something, I've been was going to open that shop. And this ain't do nothing for me.
Right.
I ain't do nothing.
Right.
So
Okay.
you mean nothing to that. So
All right.
don't wait for that. We just keep doing what we do. You understand? Like I said, the person, I don't wish bad on anybody, but eventually, karma and luck don't come with that. You understand? So we can't look at that. So
So the moral of the story is, let them do that.
let them do them.
Okay.
And you do us, and you got to pick. And like that's why right now we can count our friends on one hand and about 4 fingers. So you keep it like that. You keep your family tight, and
Sounds good.
keep your money tight. And the moral of the story, you just can't, even though you would like to, but you can't help everybody. Yes, and please, everybody, follow, subscribe,
Yes.
share.
Yes.
We're gonna be on YouTube, Google,
Yes.
Spotify.
And don't forget
all the streams.
Don't forget to check out our Instagram page either, behind the scenes. That's the Instagram page,
That's
behind
it.
the scenes with Bonnie and Clyde.
Behind the scenes of Bonnie and Clyde. And that's what you see here. We're not sponsored. This is just liquor that we like to drink on our spare time. Hopefully one day these guys will sponsor us when this behind the scenes blows up real big,
That's
because that's
right.
what we're hoping for. But, please, like I said, follow, subscribe. And one day, hopefully, we love Duce, we love Bel Air, Rick Ross. We love you guys. Ciroc, Puffy. I'm an advocate cigar smoker. I love
Yes,
my
he
cigars. So, hopefully one day we can create, and hopefully our guys reach out to us and we can get some sponsorship.
Yeah.
We love y'all.
This is Behind the Scenes with Bonnie and Clyde. See you next time.
See you next time.